I'm here with Joe Walker. He's a State Farm agent and has a State Farm agency on the north side of Abilene. And we're going to visit a little bit just today to hear about your story, Joe, and kind of what's led you into entrepreneurship and being a State Farm agent and agent owner.
All right.
And just kind of start us off. It's December 30th, I want to say, and I don't know if you're getting back from Hawaii or going to Hawaii. But it is 70 degrees outside, so I imagine that has something to do with it. But just tell us kind of when did you kind of know you were going to go down this business owner path?
Well, I did wear the Hawaiian shirt for the weather, so I got that on. The so I actually didn't see myself as an entrepreneur for the first half of my working life. I was an employee. I worked at FedEx. I was in management and was doing that and enjoyed that and really enjoyed that part of my work life. Uh, my family and I got to Abilene in the late 90s. Then in the early 2000s, FedEx offered a severance package for the people at my level of management. And knowing we wanted to stay in Abilene and raise our family here, uh, talked it over with my wife, and with her blessing, I took the severance package. I also knew that I didn't want to work for someone else. I really liked what I was doing. I liked working for FedEx. I didn't want to leave just to go somewhere else. So decided to look at an entrepreneurial opportunities after taking the severance package, and ended up a State Farm agent. And it's been a great thing. A few other things that we do too, but State Farm agency is kind of what has allowed me to be somewhat successful in what I do.
What were there any obstacles or anything like that in particular that after you had your severance package with FedEx that uh, kept you from moving forward, or what were the mental hurdles that you had to jump through to move forward towards business ownership?
Well, the biggest mental hurdle was just realizing that the paychecks were going to stop coming, and that's obviously tough with family and kids at home. Uh, so that was the once realizing, hey, that needed to start having these businesses cash flow quicker than maybe sometimes you'd imagine they can, but things did work out every time. Things kind of had to fall my way. They did, not that everything did, but things. The cash flow side of opening up a new businesses really did work out. Uh, but the hurdle of not knowing when we started, uh, had to utilize the severance package, tapped into retirement savings, all those kind of things that you uh, changed the way had to change the way I thought, because as an employee I was, gosh, maximizing my retirement. Had those plans, doing those things, so I'd be ready when retirement came. Where I kind of had to rethink and in a responsible way use the assets that I had to get the business going. So.
Could you tell us a little more about that rethinking, that shift in your mindset and stuff? What?
Well, I did recognize, really from the beginning, that I was hopefully going to be developing things that were of value, that would somewhat step in and replace what I was doing with my retirement savings. Still doing all that today. Still, that's still extremely important that we be responsible with those kind of savings. But as I was tapping into what I had spent 20 years building up, had to recognize, hey, there was a bigger plan still financially for the stability of my family that I was working on, knowing that retirement those retirement accounts weren't going away. We were just kind of changing their shape and form at that point.
And the purpose. What? I guess too. It sounds like you have a supportive family
Mm-hmm.
for you to make such a risky venture into business ownership. But going into it, and especially I guess a State Farm agency, uh, tell me what were your strengths you knew you were bringing to the table, and then were there other people, or what did you know you'd have to surround yourself
Yeah.
with?
Well, you mentioned my family was supportive. My wife's amazing. She has a CPA firm here in town, so she definitely understands business. And at the time, she was just, when we started this journey with me, she was just coming out of working part time, being a stay-at-home mom, and going into her professional life too as a CPA. So we kind of did the change together. Her stepping out of the stay-at-home mom place and me going into the entrepreneur at the same time. So we kind of had a lot of pressure on both of us at the time. But the advantage that she's been to what I've been able to do is just, it's immeasurable. I mean, I couldn't have done any of it without her, not just supporting me from that aspect, but actually getting in there and helping me with the back office function of all my businesses. So my experience in management before State Farm was with FedEx. So it was really, we had a lot to do every day, and then you had to do it again the next day. So I got to be pretty good at recognizing where I could leverage my time. We didn't want to jump into one thing that would distract me from maybe a bigger thing I could be doing that day. So understanding where I brought value to the different things I did, different things going on in my office, different things going on in any of my businesses, I think that is something that I brought to the table pretty quick, knowing that, I got to identify what needs to get done. Sometimes I need to identify who needs to do it. It's not just going to be me. So that was a big thing I think I brought.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Joe. It's good visiting with you today.